Some songs are discovered between moments, between two people who never meant to meet. That's how it began. In the rain, at a quiet train station, I heard a melody that wasn't playing anywhere. Then I saw her. Her name was Rico. She sat under the station roof, holding an old tape recorder. Rain drummed against the metal roof. When the tape jammed, she laughed softly and said, "Rain is the best rhythm in the world." That line stayed with me. I was just another stranger, a boy with a guitar. So I said, "Looks like your music player's broken." She replied, "Maybe, but the music still works. The rest is just details." I asked, "So you trust the melody?" She said, "No, I think the melody trusts me." That was Rico. We talked until the rain stopped. When my train arrived, I asked her name. She said, "Rico." I told her mine, Ian. She smiled and whispered, "See you in another song." That night, I couldn't sleep. I wrote, "The rain remembers." Days passed. I went back to that station, not to travel, but to listen. And she was there, humming quietly with a small keyboard. I brought my guitar. Our sounds fit together perfectly. It was as if the rain itself wrote the harmony. She said, "You finish songs halfway. I start them halfway. Maybe together we can reach the end." I said, "Maybe we don't have to finish them at all." She laughed. "Then let's just keep playing." That day became our ritual. Every weekend, same bench, same rhythm. Rico always carried her tape recorder, and I always brought my guitar. She wrote lyrics on napkins, I played chords. We were two strangers building something unnamed. Weeks turned into summer. We joined a small music club. Our friend Kohei pushed us to perform. He said, "You two belong on a stage." Rico looked nervous. I could see her hands tremble. So I said, "We don't have to be perfect. We just have to be honest." The night of our first show, the lights were blinding. But when she looked at me and smiled, everything else disappeared. We played our song, the one that began in the rain. People clapped, but for us it wasn't about applause. It was about the silence that came after. After the show, she said, "I'm not afraid of stages anymore." I said, "Me neither, because you're on it." And we laughed. But life, like music, always changes key. One evening, she got a message from her sister, a hospital appointment. She didn't tell me. She kept smiling, but her hands shook more often. She looked tired. At the station one night, I asked, "Rico, are you okay?" She smiled too quickly. "I just need to fix a few things. I'll tell you soon." That was the first lie between us, and the beginning of the end. The rain returned. I called her, no answer. Finally, I went to the station and waited. 7 p.m. Her train came, but she didn't. I stayed until the last train left, the rain soaking through my coat. I realized some songs don't end. They fade. I tried visiting her home. Her sister opened the door. She said softly, "Rico can't come out right now. She needs time." I nodded. I didn't understand then, but I do now. I left her a note that said, "I'll wait. Just finish the song." Months passed. Then years. Kohei kept pushing me to play solo, and I did. But every song felt hollow. Every applause felt too loud. One rainy afternoon, I stopped by our old cafe. A kid at the counter was playing an old tape. I froze. That melody, our melody, filled the air. I asked, "Where did you get this?" The boy said, "It was found near the old station. Someone left a note inside. If I can't finish this song, he will." My heart stopped. I asked to see the tape. There it was, the same handwriting. When I pressed play, her voice came through, faint but beautiful. She said, "Ian, if you're hearing this, it means I couldn't make it. Don't be sorry. Don't stop playing. The melody belongs to both of us. Finish it in your own way. And if there's a world beyond this one, I'll be listening from there." I sat there for a long time. Outside, it started to rain again. The same rhythm, the same sound as the day we met. That night, I performed again, but differently. I stood on stage, lights low, and said, "This song isn't mine. It's ours." I pressed play. Her recorded piano began softly. Then I joined in with my guitar. Together, across time, we played again. The audience went silent. No applause, just quiet tears. And I swear, for a moment, I felt her beside me, the warmth, the rhythm, the smile. Years passed. I grew older, but I still visit that station. Every year, on the same day, when it rains. I bring a single white flower and a cassette tape. I sit on the same bench, close my eyes, and whisper, "Rico, I'm still playing." One morning, I left the tape behind with a letter inside that said, "To whoever finds this, this song isn't finished. It's meant for you. If you ever feel lost, play it. Because someone out there will always be listening." A few years later, a young girl found that tape. She carried an old cassette player, just like Rico's. When she pressed play, she heard my guitar and Rico's piano echoing through the rain. She smiled, looked up at the gray sky, and said quietly, "Thank you." Maybe she didn't know our story, but maybe the melody did. Maybe that's what love really is, a song that never ends, only changes who's playing it. Somewhere, it's raining again, and somewhere, a melody begins, the one we started together, still finding its way home.